Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is slated to meet Myanmar State Counsellor Aung Suu Kyi today amid morning Rohingya crisis as well. This is Modi's first bilateral visit to Myanmar. Prime Minister Modi is in Myanmar at a time when it is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. There are reports of a massive exodus of Rohingyas from Myanmar's Rakhine state to neighbouring Bangladesh. Myanmar's leaders, including the State Counsellor Aung Suu Kyi, is expected to brief Prime Minister Modi on Rohingya issue. She is also expected to brief him on the activities of the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, which India has described as a terrorist organisation. In fact, India's concerns are that Rohingya conflict could trigger another insurgency in Myanmar. There's no less than 8 insurgent groups, 4 of which include the Rohingya Salvation Army, which are attacking the Myanmar army at this point. If the conflict expands, it could destabilize the state. There could be outside intervention expected, or the army could take over, crushing its young democracy. Now, Myanmar is a crucial link in India's Look East policy. It is a member of the ASEAN, or the ASEAN, with which India is building close economic and political ties, and to counter India's hegemonic presence. Being one of India's strategic neighbours, Myanmar also shares more than 1,600-kilometre long border with a number of northeastern states, including the militancy-hit Nagaland and Manipur. The Prime Minister Modi will use his visit to leverage India's ties with Myanmar government. India is likely to expand its developmental programme in that country and help build capacity in its government by training its nationals and deepen its involvement in Myanmar's democratic growth. China is also one of the reasons why India needs to be on good terms with Myanmar. Now, China has invested heavily in the country, developing ports, roads and highways, buying Myanmar's gas, and Myanmar is a profitable market for the Chinese goods at this point. It has enabled the Chinese to expand into Myanmar in strategic terms and deepened India's insecurities in the northeast. Myanmar is a useful ally, they say, which is helping India tackle the threat posed by insurgent groups in the northeast, like the United Liberation Front of Assam and the Naga rebels and some other fringe groups. Myanmar gives India intelligence as to the location and movement of such groups that use Myanmar territory as their base. Meanwhile, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres appealed to Myanmar authorities on Tuesday to end the violence in the country's Rakhine state, which he warned was creating a situation that could destabilize the region. Indian Ambassador to Myanmar Vikram Misri also has said that India will take a different approach to help the Myanmar Rohingya crisis. Let's see what he has to say.
What is India's position on the issue of Rohingyas? It has acquired a lot of domestic overtones.
Yes, it is. As you would be aware, there has been a recent upsurge in violence in northern Rakhine state. The issue is a complicated issue. It is connected up with the history of this country and with developments in the last 100-odd years. It is at the end of the day an issue that the government of Myanmar has to resolve. Outside parties, other countries, friends can advise, can make suggestions if asked for. And whenever there has been the opportunity to do that, it has been done. But at the end of the day, this is something that has to be resolved by the government of Myanmar. You would have seen the statements that have been issued by the government of India. We obviously, condemn any violence, extremist-inspired violence in this state, because we do not think that violence is going to solve anything. And we are hopeful that all stakeholders can come together in a process of dialogue and reach a solution that is based on justice, on equity and on dignity. I should make mention in this context of the fact that we had a very good, very constructive report that I would say was recently delivered by the Kofi Annan Commission, the Advisory Commission on Rakhine, that it should be noted was set up by the government of Myanmar itself. And I think the government of Myanmar has issued a very constructive welcome to that report. I think that the report contains recommendations that can lead to bring about approaches that can resolve this situation or can contribute to resolving this situation. But this cannot be done, I think, in an atmosphere that is characterized by violence. That is difficult to envision. So I hope that all parties can understand that and eschew violence and come together in a spirit of cooperation to resolve this issue.